For more than 1,000 years, France was one of the main Christian countries in Europe. It was the bastion of Catholicism and then later Protestantism. But in 1905, something happened that changed France forever. A law was passed which separated church and state. Since then, France is firmly a secular state. Today, although 45% of French people say they are Christians, France has one of the lowest attendances at church anywhere in the world. It's only 5%. Things like religious symbols are banned in public places such as schools, including Sikh turbans, the Jewish kippah, and of course, Muslim girls wearing the hijab. Interestingly, in 2019, France has Europe's largest Muslim population. According to Pew Research, just under 9% of France's 66 million population are Muslims. There are over 2,000 mosques in the country. But there have been a small minority of Muslims who've committed wrongful acts, and this has led to a very negative perception forming about Muslims as a whole. So it was in this backdrop that the Caliph, Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad, worldwide head of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Community, arrived in France to deliver the message of true Islam. So at the beginning of the Jalsa Salana, the flag of Ahmadiyya is raised. When the flag was established by the second worldwide head of the Ahmadiyya community, he said, quote, "My flag shall grant protection to all righteous people." When Ahmadi Muslims raise the flag of Ahmadiyyat, they always raise the flag of the country they are in at the same time, because Ahmadi Muslims believe it is not a question of being a Muslim first and a national of the country second. Rather, both are intertwined. They must love their country to be a good Muslim. The Caliph is dedicating a lot of time to meeting his followers. In a small, makeshift, simple office, Ahmadi Muslim families had the chance to speak to the spiritual guide. So we asked them about the experience of meeting him. You seem a little bit nervous.
No, not at all. I am excited. I'm excited.
So it's the first time your daughter will...
Yes.
Yes, I heard your name as well. Somebody's calling your name.
No, it is another Omar.
It's another Omar.
It is my cousin actually.
It's a false call, yeah. So what do you think before you go in to see Hazur? A few moments you have left. What's going through your mind?
Istighfar and Darud Sharif.
Can you explain? What does that mean?
To beg pardon from Allah and send blessing on the Holy Prophet ﷺ. To send blessing on the Holy Prophet ﷺ, because it is through the grace of the Holy Prophet ﷺ that we have this favor, this enormous favor to have a Khalifa, and to beg pardon from Allah because of our weaknesses. So it is very difficult to describe the feelings that we can have for a man of God. So it is something like very difficult. It is a spiritual experience, and you feel as if you are not in this world, and you have a feeling mix of fear and hope and a great respect, reverence. You want to meet him, but at the same time you are afraid. You are afraid about what Hazur can see in you.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम रहमतुल्लाह।
जी वालेकुम सलाम।
अपना नाम बता देंगे?
जी फजलुर रहमान।
तो आपकी अभी हजूर से जो है एक मुलाकात हुई है, तो क्या उसके तासुरात आप फिर बयान करें?
बहुत पुरनूर मौका था और इतना वो चेहरा इतना नूर वाला है कि देखने की हिम्मत नहीं थी। जो दुआएं के लिए कहना था वो भी हम भूल गए थे हजूर को देख के कि हमने क्या दुआएं हजूर को कहनी थी। मैं बयान नहीं कर सकता कि मुझे कितनी खुशी है और कितनी उस शख्सियत का हम पर असर हुआ है।
बहुत ही खुशी हुई है। मैं अब आपको बयान नहीं कर सकता कि मैं इतना खुश हूँ अंदर से। ये मेरे बच्चे जो बहुत ज़्यादा ही खुश हैं। ये एक हफ़्ता वो कह रहे हैं कि हमने हजूर से मिलना है और अल्लाह का फजल हुआ है कि हमारी मुलाकात हुई है।
मेरी फैमिली में मैं पहला मेंबर हूँ जो हजूर से मुलाकात कर रहा हूँ। बिल्कुल ऐसा फील हो रहा है जैसे कि मैं अपनी किसी फैमिली के मेंबर से बात करके आ रहा हूँ, और मतलब बहुत इजी, मैं आपको बता नहीं सकता कि इतनी खुश हूँ, मैं इतना खुश हूँ।
इनसे मुलाकात करके मुझे ऐसा लगा है जैसे बागों में फूल हैं हमारे लिए, और गुलशन में मुलाकात हो गई हमारी। तो आज से जो 11 साल पहले आए थे ना, वो दिन ऐसे गुजरे हैं जैसे पता ही नहीं चला कि किस तरह एकदम गुजर गए हैं। इतनी उल्फत में रहे हम, उसकी उल्फत आज तक हमें ठंडक देती रही।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम, मेरा नाम ज़फ़र इकबाल है। प्यारे अमाम से जब हमारी मुलाकात हुई है तो वो हमारी रूहानी जो प्यास है जैसे वो बुझी है और एक नई तड़प पैदा हुई है कि अब हमने दोबारा प्यारे आका से कब मुलाकात करनी है। जी, फ़िज़ान ज़फ़र ये मेरा तीसरा बेटा है, इसकी ये हुज़ूर अनवर से पहली मुलाकात थी।
तो मैं बहुत एक्साइटेड था, मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रही थी जब मैं अंदर आया था, जैसे लग रहा था कि मैं अभी पैदा हुआ था।
तो कोई चॉकलेट मिल गई है कि नहीं?
हाँ जी।
खुश है?
मेरी आंखों से मतलब आंसू जैसे निकल आए और मेरे साथ मेरी वाइफ भी थी, मेरे बच्चे भी थे और हुजूर ने मेरे बड़े बेटे का हाथ पकड़ लिया और उसको प्यार करते रहे। मुझे रश्क आ रहा था अपनी ज़िंदगी में, जैसे ज़िंदगी का हासिल मिल गया हो। तो पर जब मैं बाहर निकला हूँ तो मेरा दिल कर रहा था मैं सारी दुनिया को बताऊँ कि मेरी हुजूर से मुलाकात हो गई है।
Nearly half of French people believe that Islam clashes with their values. So in this context, the Caliph was addressing what Islam really stands for. Let's take a look at what he said.
All distinguished guests, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Peace and blessing of Allah be upon you all. First of all, I would like to thank all of our guests for having joined us at today's event, which is a purely religious function organized by Muslim community. In recent years, the horrific and brutal atrocities of certain so-called Muslim groups have caused immeasurable levels of pain and anguish in different countries, including here in France. The true teachings of Islam have nothing to do with terrorism and extremism. Rather, Islam is a religion of peace, love, tolerance, and reconciliation. The word Islam literally means peace and security. And so, a true Muslim is a person who is himself peaceful and who strives to establish peace and harmony in the world. Let it be clear that all forms of extremism and violence are completely against Islamic teachings. In both the East and the West, the blue skies of peace and prosperity have given way to heavy clouds of war and injustice. Across much of the world, nations are being torn apart by dissension, revenge seeking, and a desire to degrade others. This state of unrest will continue to increase until and unless international relations are based upon justice and integrity and fulfilling the rights of others. As I observe the world today, I can only pray that mankind does not continue to repeat the mistakes of the past. Instead, let us learn from history so we can build a better future for ourselves and for our coming generations.
The Review of Religions was set up in 1902 by Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad, who established it to demonstrate the existence of God. 117 years later, apart from English, the magazine now prints in German, Spanish, and French. Until now, the French edition has only been available in print, but at the annual convention, the Caliph historically launched the French website of the magazine. After the speech and the launch, the Caliph graced a dinner with all the guests, in which he gave ample time to meeting each and every one personally. We spoke to the guests afterwards to ask them what they thought.
Thank you very much for this invitation. My name is Grace Kim and I came from South Korea. And today this Ahmadiyya event was really good and successful. And because I also work in HWPL for guiding the interfaith dialogue, so I really wanted to come to listen also from the His Holiness Caliph message, and he was also very much beautiful. And now this time is really important. We have to achieve the peace. And religious leaders, they all have to actually gather their force together for achieving this world peace. And the message from the Caliph, His Holiness, was really important. So I hope that we can all gather our force together so that we can truly realize the world peace.
It was very different from what we usually hear from media or on social media. So that's why I think it was very good to hear. And I think that really a lot of people need to hear more that kind of speeches. And I was very impressed because when I talked to him, I thought I didn't have any time, so I was being quick. And he really took the time to ask who I was, what was I doing. And so this was the proof that he's not the kind of person that will say speeches, but he's not the same. So it was very, very kind and very focused on people.
My name is Benoît Potier, I'm French, I'm 49. I'm a manager and I run my own company. I wanted to discover, I was curious to discover this Ahmadiyya religion and maybe to meet your Caliph too and to be able to listen to the message of peace. And I was too quite impressed to meet him and to say hello to him too. I was so impressed that it was difficult for me to find my words, to be precise.
Je suis venu ici, bien qu'il pleuve, pour voir justement le calife et voir tout le travail qu'il entreprend. Et je suis vraiment très heureux de pouvoir être là. Ce discours était vraiment très touchant. Donc c'est un discours que j'ai beaucoup aimé, tout simplement parce que il a une politique en fait qui rassemble les cœurs. Le calife, c'est vraiment quelqu'un de très gentil et de très touchant. Donc j'ai eu l'occasion de parler avec lui quelques minutes. Et d'ailleurs, il m'a offert ce petit présent. Donc c'est vraiment quelqu'un de très gentil. Et je pense qu'il pourra vraiment... c'est une personne en fait qui pourra vraiment œuvrer avec toutes les associations qui travaillent pour la paix.
My name is Maxime Onfray. I'm a geopolitical analyst. It's the second time that I come to the Jalsa. On August I was in Great Britain for the international Jalsa. So I had the pleasure to meet the Caliph again. I met him the first time in United Kingdom. And the discourse was really interesting because it's really important to hear all these messages about peace in the world and about this fight against extremism. And I think it's really good and it's really a good thing for our world and for the people in general.
The basic Muslim creed is that there is none worthy of worship except Allah and that Muhammad is his messenger. Muslims believe that God is one and that the final messenger in whom culminates all the teachings of past prophets is Muhammad, peace be upon him. The end of the Jalsa is an emotional time when the audience all join in singing the Muslim creed.